All right, all right, all right. Welcome to Women Wealth Wednesday. I am so excited to have my guest here today. Let me tell you just a little bit. This does not cover her entire bio, but let me share with you who my guest is. This beautiful lady here is no stranger to me, but I want to introduce her to you and present her to others. This is the powerhouse that I'm talking about. Tonight, we're talking about from pharmacy to property, how this mom of three is building generational wealth through real estate. And I am your host, Dr. Gladys David of She Invest Realty. And I want you to welcome Arlene McKenzie. Arlene, welcome to the show. It is my honor and privilege to be speaking to you today so that we can get into the conversation how you are transitioning from pharmacy to property. Welcome, Arlene.
Thank you so much. That was so warm and inviting. I appreciate it. My first live, everybody.
It's her first live, but let me tell you about this rock star. She is
Mhm.
really a rock star. Arlene, you want to share a little bit about who you are to our audience and share with them just a smidgen because I have so many questions and I'm going to tell them how you and I met.
Yeah. So, like what Gladys said, I am a pharmacist. I was a pharmacist for, oh my God, how old is my son? He's 17. So 17 years, counting down, right? I remember I was at this company for years since I was a student and kind of left and was like, I got to figure something else out because I can't keep going in this company every single day, working for these people day in and day out. At the end of the day, you are just, it's business needs over your needs. And so I was like, I got to figure out something else to make more money and spend more time with my kids. Because at the end of the day, I just want to spend more time with my kids.
I love it. I love it. So Arlene is definitely someone that she put her hands up. She reached out. So as you know, I am a real estate coach and I have been in the business now 17 years. And I have been transitioning from investments to residential. And I am definitely a coach. In fact, I'm a coach now with Legacy Group International, amongst other great coaches there, which is brokered by EXP, which is where I hang my license at right now. But Arlene and I did not meet at EXP. In fact, when I was talking to Arlene this week, as I was preparing to have her as a guest on our show, she says to me, no, we met at an event, a real estate event. I was like, really? So she jogged my memory back to where we met. And Arlene met back, was it 22 or 23?
I was 23. It had to be the end, December 23. I remember.
Okay. It was then. And I had just completed um this master program when I was preparing to release my book, The Ultimate Guide to Real Estate Investing in Women. And I went out on faith because I myself, like Arlene, is a working professional mom. I think that really connected. We resonated with both of being working professional moms, having young children, raising children. As an attorney, I was still practicing, I believe, in that time, and simultaneously having the dual career. So we had so much in common. I went out and I was traveling on business and I made the announcement that I was launching my coaching program. And it was on a platform very similar to this. And Arlene had reached out to me and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so wonderful. And then it clicked on me. I'm like, we met. So Arlene was one of my students in the fixing and flipping program of 2024. She is a graduate of the program, y'all.
Yeah.
She is, and unlike our courses that's starting next month, Arlene was privileged, I would say. She worked one-on-one with me. She came in at a different level. Sister Girl is a powerhouse. So what I tell you about Arlene is she is licensed as a real estate agent in New Jersey, licensed as a real estate agent in Pennsylvania as well. So when she came on board, she was hungry and she was ready to get this party started, right? And when she said she was ready to start, the first thing I did was I invited Arlene to a live interview, and she came out to one of my open houses of the beautiful house that we had just renovated in South Jersey. Remember that house,
I
Arlene?
remember. It was so gorgeous. I was like, oh my God, state of the art, everything.
It was the talking house. It had everything in it, the bells, the whistles. And I knew immediately I wanted to work with you, Arlene, because you are so, first of all, your personality is on point. You are easygoing, you're coachable, you showed up on time. And we always have fun just connecting as we were discussing what we were going to be doing as this program is beginning, and you were going to be started, I think, in January. And so I was really excited to work one-on-one with you, and then how you were going to balance motherhood, a demanding career, and then you're adding real estate investing to it. So tell
Mhm.
me, how do you do that, Arlene?
Well, it's not easy, but you carve out the time for things that are important to you. I pretty much just kind of wait till my kids are asleep and I'm up at night, or on my days off, or when they're with dad. That's my time. That's my time.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I too, I speak to you because I started out investing when my son was very, very little, like you.
Hmm.
He was probably 2 or 3, and it was right after my divorce, and so,
Hmm.
whew, um, and I got into it because, like you, I was figuring out at that point I had been an attorney at least probably 18, 19, 20 years, and I did very well. I did very well. I didn't complain. But my son has special needs, as you know, and he needed some different things. He needed some things that most typical children didn't need. His daycare was exponentially higher, and that's how I got into fixing and flipping. What was your driving? I know you said you were looking to transition from, doing the pharmacy, but what was your aha moment? Like, this
Yeah,
is it.
for me it was I have 3 boys, and my last son, he's 5 now, but that maternity leave, I was on maternity leave for 4 months. I had a hard time going back to work. I mean, I guess most moms probably do it. You like, I got to go back to work. But I was just like, there has to be another way. Like, because I can't do this every single day. I can't. Like, I'm missing opportunities with my kids. I'm tired. I'm worn out.
Wow.
So for me, that was the point. I was like, I gotta do something different.
Wow. So you had that aha moment. So
Hmm.
I really appreciate that because we all have those pivotal turning moments where we feel like, enough is enough, enough is enough. So I know that you came into the program very specific, and as I shared with you my journey and how many strategies there were, but you were like, I want to do fixing and flipping. And I'm like,
Hmm.
all right, a girl after my own heart. I love
Yeah.
it. And I
Yeah.
shared with you that was one of my favorite strategies. And we dived directly into that. And how we did it was because Arlene was working so close to me, and because Arlene had access to me, and as her coach, us being both, we are in South Jersey, so it helped. But we met weekly, faithfully. She never missed a class. In fact, she would come to class so pumped and so ready to get her job done. And I would give her weekly homework assignments,
Hmm.
and she executed like a maverick. Okay, she really did her job. And what made it a little bit easier on me, because Arlene is licensed, so we ended up doing the market research, right? As we did the market research and we're breaking it down, where do you want to invest in? What does this look like for you? And she learned the language of real estate investing, literally, like, what's your buy box, right? Many people coming into the program don't understand what that is. But my biggest question for you, Arlene, is,
Hmm.
were you afraid to do the program, or did you feel that I should do this? Should I not do it? Were you on the fence about joining the program?
Yeah, so for me, because I said my son was 5, right? And I just finished last year. I had all this time. I had the cold feet. I did all that research for years, the YouTube University, the all of that stuff. Everybody goes through. You're
They did.
just scared. I was scared to jump in there because I just need to find the right person. And so when Gladys came along, and she was an attorney, she was a professional, she was already doing the things I wanted to do. She was a real estate agent. I was like, wow. I like her. Like, I'm gonna have to follow her. Like, and so when she put that program out, like, I already knew I had to join. So it
She did.
wasn't, yeah, I wasn't scared because I knew I was in good hands because I had been following you, and I knew I was okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And of course, I did have a little bit of experience in fixing and flipping.
Hmm.
I've
Yeah.
done over 200, and now I'm at 225 now since we met. So
Right.
I mean, it's grown every year. It continues to grow, and as we build out that program for you, and that's the beauty about being in one-on-one with me. You picked your niche, and you wanted to do fixing and flipping, and I said to you, that is it. And we did our market research, we did our location, and initially the location that you picked, right, it wasn't the one that we thought we would work at.
No. Mm-mm. No, I was like, I'll just stay somewhere close to home, not too far. And yeah, no, you put me in another direction. I was like, oh yeah, okay, I see this.
I did put you in another direction because my goal was for you to be profitable, and my goal was for you to be successful, especially being your first one, because the first one, is the one where you get all the injuries, you get all the bumps, the bruises, the challenges. You get all these reasons why you're going to fail. It's very challenging, but we did go through the process. We looked at general contractors. We looked at all the different locations. We did everything we were supposed to do correctly. We got quotes, we got estimates, and we came back as a team. I gave you every blueprint the She Invest Realty could possibly give you. I gave you the blueprint and said, here's what you needed to do. And we found a property. It was less than what, 6 weeks?
Yeah. I was out there. There was times I was seeing like 5 properties a day. I think I did that Saturday and a Sunday. It was raining one day. I was like, I'm getting me one of these quick.
We did. We did. And
Mhm.
when she found the property, she had to actually come prepare the next day because we found one online together. And I said, this looks like a winner. And I said, this is your property. And she
Mhm.
went out there. And when she came back, she had to prepare her after repair value. And was it right?
Yeah, I don't think it was right. It was it wasn't right, but you directed me and guided me in the right direction.
It wasn't right. And that's the thing about doing it without knowledge, but doing it with correction and doing it with guidance. And that I was like, that's okay. You
Mhm.
tried. And so here's and we did it online together, and it became a pivotal teaching moment where it got clear. But when it got very real is when we went out into the field to take a look at the property. Oh, what a journey that was, right, Arlene? We
Right.
looked at the
That was
property,
something.
and
Mhm.
we were in a very distressed neighborhood, but here's what I know about investing that I have been sharing with you, and you are really getting so good at this too. I said to you, you got to go into the community and get a feel for the neighborhood. What's it going to do for you?
Mhm.
And let it talk to you. The house is going to speak to you. So let's go stand in there for a couple hours and let's figure out who is this home for. And we said a mother with a child.
Mhm.
What else?
We said just so somebody started a starter home for sure.
A
Mhm.
starter home for sure. It
Mhm.
would be a couple because it was a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom,
Yep.
885 square feet. It was the cutest look, and it did not require a big rehab. It was not a total big rehab. So
Mhm.
that was really some of the steps that we took in terms of understanding the demographics, understanding the market condition, understanding the turnaround, understanding the general contractors that we were going to be working with. We got 3 quotes.
We
Okay.
did.
One
Mhm.
was good, one was real high,
Yeah.
and one was in the middle of the road.
Mhm.
And and as a team, I said to her, why is he so much higher than everyone else? What is he bringing to the table that the other one is? So you have to vet your vendors and vet your general contractors as well. And of course, we ran into some hiccups, but you know what? Part of those hiccups is mitigating those risks, right? As a person that works with contractors, you must be able to mitigate risk, and that's what you did when you were working it. So balancing the demand of a health career, motherhood, and learning the ropes of investing, we had some moments there where it got really messy because you were still, now you got back to work as a pharmacist,
I
and I
did.
believe you were in PA, and
Mhm.
in the middle of us trying to negotiate this contract, it was really challenging for you at times, but that's who these program is built for. This program is not built for someone that someone is handing them the answers, but it's about figuring out how we're going to do these things together, and knowing that you have someone to contact and call on. I was there every step of the way. I said to her, now you're going to be the project manager of your own property,
Mhm.
you're going to be the investor, you're going to be all these different things, because we are making sure that you are boots on the ground to understand how you're going to be able to go from not knowing and executing from contract to close. And that you did do. Now, what does generational wealth mean to you personally? I mean, I have my own definition, and beyond the financial aspect. What does that really look like for you?
I mean, for me, it's just like peace of mind. It's being able to spend more time. It's just time, just more time for me. Being able to spend more time with my kids, and that's what that looks like. Being able to show my kids. I've taken my kids. I took my kids out to that property so many times. Even when I was looking for properties, I took my kids with me. When I was decorating, I took my kids with me, just showing them what it takes, that everything is not pretty. It's not easy. Sometimes you got to put in a little bit of elbow grease to get things to where you want to go. But I just wanted to show them something different. So
I love that because I work with my children too. You have met
mhm.
one. In fact, my daughter was at your closing.
Yes, she was. She was.
I say I call that child care
Mhm.
failure is why she was there. But you know what? It is important to show your children what you are doing, and because you are looking for freedom, and I, like you, that's what it really means to me. It's my freedom of my time.
Mhm.
um, I no longer trade hours for dollars. Like, I know my value all the way now. There was a time where I traded hours for dollars. Working 40 hours a week, I would get a paycheck after 80, right? So with fixing and flipping, that's when you collect chunks of money with one transaction. And that helps you, translate into building generational wealth over a period of time. For the long haul, you would want to look at, buying and holding so you can create passive income. But for me, that became a way of life in order for me to replace my income. I realized that one of the challenges that I faced was my job was so demanding, and my hours were so long, and I traveled so much, and I worked one entire year to get that bonus that I perceived to be a very, very large bonus.
Mhm.
After my first real estate fix and flip, I learned how small that bonus really was because it literally trumped my entire annual bonus that I worked all year for. I worked 50 weeks to earn that, and one transaction changed. That really meant everything to me. It was an eye opener, and that's why the 25 or so years I practiced and did real estate simultaneously was so that I can build up so that it can replace my income. And I know
Mhm.
that that's really, for me, freedom, because I no longer tie myself to that. Like you said, bringing my daughter to closing, being able to do things with them. I work Monday to Friday, Sunday to Friday. I don't work really too many weekends, but that's really what investing can do for you. It'll allow you to change from one career to the other. But what I love about, you and I, is that we are using our current careers to propel us to the next level. And that's what this program is designed for. It's not saying get rid of it. Eventually you will, because
Right.
we're building
The
together.
goal. Uh-huh.
We are definitely building together. And I remember you decided on that property, and you sold it in record time too, Arlene. It was not on the market long. Everyone was looking for turnkey, and that's what you offered. We went from this dilapidated house to a turnkey property, and it was just such a beautiful property afterwards that it just it's so beautiful because when we first started in there was a little bit of a leak. There was a bucket here and there. I mean, the
Mhm.
basement wasn't looking too good. But when you finished that renovation, it was just absolutely livable. I mean, you want to describe to them what that living room with the windows inside of it?
It did. So it was like an enclosed porch, and then somebody was like, "Oh, Matt, that was your idea." You was like, "We could do this." Oh, it was so nice the way your idea to change that indoor porch into something a little bit more open.
But the
Um,
craziness was that how ugly was that window? We walked in there and it just looked out of the norm. I was trying to figure out what is
what is
this?
this?
What is this? What is this? And we really didn't know what it was. And so I have pictures, and I want to be able to
Please share
share.
them.
I
Yes.
want to share those pictures
But
because
my son thought we lived there. That's how nice it was. He was like, "Mom, this is the new house." This is not the new house.
this is not the new house. This is the house that we are fixing and
Mhm.
flipping, if there is such a thing. Let me see. I don't want to leave the studio, but there are some pictures that I want to share with, and we even changed the outside.
Yes,
The
we
house
painted the outside. We painted. It
the
was
house was beige, right?
mhm.
And
Yep.
then we made it
That blue, it had gave it a little pop.
we made it
Mhm.
blue, and that was very interesting. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, let me see. Select it. I want to do this. I've never shared my screen from the
Oh,
studio, but you know what? Why not? Oh, here it is. Okay. Tell me if you can see it, Arlene.
I see your screen. It's me and you. It is no house yet, but it's
Oh
me and you.
no.
Well, I see. Okay, that's not it yet.
That's not it. I thought it was sharing. This is the wrong one.
It's
Okay.
sharing the
The
flyer
actual
screen.
Empower and Talk, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the wrong one. I don't want that. I need to exit that. But that is, I want to share because it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. And I wanted to show them the before picture.
Definitely saw it before. Gotta
The
see it before.
before picture. That was really it. This is what it looks like now. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna reshare. Okay, it's me and you again. I want to reshare this because when you talk about a masterpiece, Miss Arlene created. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's the window. Tell me if you can see it.
Loading. It's there. Yep. There it is.
Okay,
Looks
so
like the after.
this is the blue house
Mm-hmm.
that Arlene fixed up. Okay, and if it's changing screens, okay, this is still the exterior of it. Okay, this is the daylight picture of it. And this is the beginning of Arlene's renovation. So on the inside, this is what she was referring to, these windows here. So these windows that Arlene, this was the walk, as soon as you walk in, it was an enclosed porch and it had windows here. I actually gave her the idea for us to put in built-in shelves, so
Yeah.
therefore we can make it look more inviting. So we did stage it, and we were the most creative people. When I walked in, I said, "This is not the house we have seen." So it is an amazing piece of property. So you can see the details of it. Instead of windows, we actually put this shelving in here, and it made it much more inviting. And then Arlene really went to town when it came to staging. You talk about someone who is creative. This woman, when I walked in, I was like, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get these from?" She took it to another level. So she had these runners going up the stairs, the neutral paint. We decided to go with what they call a pewter gray, and it actually complemented the floors. Ooh, and look at this decorate. Do you remember this? Oh
I
my
do
God.
remember this. That was the fun part. This is when it really got fun.
This
It's like,
was
oh,
the
I'm
fun
going
part.
shopping for the
The
house.
living room, and you got some skills, sister girl. You got some skills. I mean, look at this masterpiece. It is a masterpiece. This is actually an open concept, which is really big now. Everybody wants an open concept, and we opened it up so therefore you can still have a dining area and have the eating kitchen, which led out to the backyard. We gave state of the art appliances. Take a look at the detail of the work. These handles, this detail. Arlene really, really learned the intricacies of rehabbing because when I tell you, this kitchen was not your kitchen.
Mm-mm.
No. But the work that we did to bring this kitchen to another place and another level, it made it so inviting. It didn't even, she got multiple offers on this, by the way.
I did.
Everyone is a stainless steel. This is this is what a renovation looks like with a person that got the training and the coaching that she needed. She had her own vision, she had her own ideas, but yet, you know what? When we put this property together and I walked in and I was so proud of you, Arlene. I'm still proud of you. I
Look,
really am.
I'm proud now just looking at these pictures. That brings back memories. I'm like, oh, my baby. This was my baby, you
This
know.
was your baby. This is your baby. No doubt
Hmm.
about it. This is the basement that continued to give us agita, but we got through it. We got through this basement. It had a washer and dryer. I mean, this was the backyard. I mean, Arlene, this was truly a work of art. When I tell you, you exceeded expectation on this property, girl. You exceeded expectation. You crushed it. You absolutely crushed it. There's no way that I would ever, ever, ever have thought when we started out, where would we end up, right?
Hmm.
We had a whole different vision. And now you continue to grow in a space of not just coaching, you're doing much more complex transactions. So Arlene is still continuing to invest, but she's investing more by working with me. I am still her coach, but I'm also her residential coach. And so when I say I coach all things real estate, I really do. So Arlene is getting into some very complex transactions. Right now, she is in the middle of putting on a short sale, which
Hmm. Yeah.
which is another exciting opportunity for her to navigate working with a distressed property. And more recently, we're looking at multi units. So she continues to grow in the space of her investing and her transitioning and how she wants to be able to grow her portfolio. And we had the pleasure of working together last Friday.
Yes, we did. We did.
I didn't upload the video, Arlene, but I will. I have to
Oh, you
upload
should.
the video
It's
because
good.
this property right here, this one is going to take Arlene to what I call the Emmy of real estate investing. Because, first of all, the fact that she was scared to enter the property was one
Yeah,
thing. But the fact that she actually lived to talk about it is another thing. We were at this property for 5 hours.
we were like, yeah, you were good because we were sitting there, we were watching the people that were in the just getting the feel for the neighborhood. Neighbors were coming up and talking to us and giving us information. You were like shooting down up ideas of, strategies. I mean, it was amazing. Like you didn't even realize. I'm like, dang, it's 5 hours already. Didn't even
We were
realize
there
we were
for
there
five.
that long. Yeah,
It was a
we did
very,
that
and
easy.
this is a multi-unit. So, we have to think differently. So Arlene is going from single family to multi-unit. So do it scared, do it blind, but do it with a coach. And so
Mhm.
since we were out there together looking at this multi-unit that is ultimately distress, very, very much distress. However, I remember when you
I'm
brought
gonna do
this
it
deal.
scared because it was scary.
I remember when you brought this deal to me, and I said, "Yeah, I see the opportunity." And initially, you couldn't see it
I
either.
couldn't see it. Like I was because I was on the other end. I think I was looking at it as a realist, as an agent part of it. And I was like, you were like, well, wait, we could do something with it. Wait a minute now. So you reminded me that they can mash together, right? The investor and the agent.
You can
Yeah, they
mash
go
together.
together. They go
They
together.
go together. They go together. And so she didn't quite see what I saw. So
Mm-mm.
I last week when I talked about going from beauty to bricks, I explained to the audience that when you start to develop the investor eyes, you see properties differently. And Arlene, I see properties very differently.
Yeah.
I do. I go into a house and I'll tell her exactly who the end buyer is going to be and who it is. When she sent me this property to look at, I had like three ideas in my head and I hadn't gone to the property. And the more I studied it, the more I looked at it differently. And by the time we got out to this particular property, I said, there are multiple strategies we can do. You said, really? Because going inside was scary. Very, very scary. I'll share with them what it looks like now, but when they see it next time,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be impressed with your skills, Arlene, because they don't realize that you are becoming what I have coined a visionary. You are definitely becoming a visionary after spending 5 hours at this. This is her next property.
Scary, right?
This looks like
Little
this looks like
spooky.
the house on Amityville Horror.
It does. It looks a little spooky on the outside. Yeah.
But I said to her, this is a beauty. This beauty right here has 3 bedrooms on the first floor, 2 bedrooms on the top floor. It is a 2-family duplex, cash flowing well over $4,000 a month. How could you not see that? Well, when we got there, it didn't look like this, but that's exactly what I said to her. This is a cash cow. And she
Mm-hmm.
said, ooh. And we walked towards the back, and it got worse
Mm-hmm.
and worse and worse and worse. And the reason why it got so bad for Arlene and I is because we had lantern flies. We had
Mosquitoes.
so it's not pretty fixing and
Mm-hmm.
flipping. It's not a pretty thing. However, when you look at a distressed property and we start to take in the community, initially we said we would fix and flip. However, as we study the market, see, the market tells you everything, right? As we studied the market, we studied the neighborhood, and we sat in the car. We looked like 2 police officers.
We really did. We really did. I was trying not to stare so hard at the people, but it was hard.
And and the neighborhood is not
Mhm.
distressed. The neighborhood is emerging. And so
Mhm.
we started to notice units of homes and mailboxes of homes. So that's something that you can really start to notice if you're considering going into the fixing and flipping. The grass is high for sure. It looks like it's distressed, but then the property across the street equally looks the same. But guess what? It was not a buy and flip, right? What was it? A buy and hold. This is a buy and hold neighborhood. Pure rentals. Pure rent. This is a rental community. This community here, that's why I called it a cash cow. Everybody there is renting. We actually met with the owner, and he was a very kind gentleman. So if you're looking for distressed properties and you're going into this fixing and flipping business, you have to understand your exit strategy before you get in, because you have one idea going in, just like Arlene had her one idea going in the neighborhood she wanted to do her fix and flip, and it ended up not being that neighborhood but still profitable for her. And it wasn't far from the house. It was about 30 minutes for both of
No,
us.
yeah, it's not far.
It wasn't far. So tell me, what were some of the biggest challenges you had earlier on when you were doing your fixing and flipping on the property that I shared with the people that you did such a beautiful job with?
Just getting in there and finding out things, uh, might cost a little bit more than you anticipated, you know? "Oh, well, this doesn't work. Oh, well, now we need an electrician to go in here and fix this," and, oh, and also the community, camp, because where we were, you know, the township, you gotta get all these COs, all these, like, all this red tape you gotta kinda get through to
I
get it to the finish line, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes part of your job in fixing and flipping is actually going through the certificate of occupancy. And that, I will say, is one of the toughest areas to get a CO. And you got your legs really wet on that one, because you stuck out the process. We failed a few times, not because
Oh,
of
yeah.
us, but they're just so strict and what they were
Mhm.
looking for. And knowing that we're investors, they really don't give us a pass. They really don't. So that was very challenging. Were there moments where you felt like you wanted to quit?
I can't say I wanted to quit. I never really got that. I think because, and I must say, this is definitely Gladys single-handedly. Like every time we met, I felt like every time the end of that class, you got me so pumped up at the end of every session that we had, you don't feel like you want to quit. You don't.
Oh,
You just want to get to the end. You can't wait. So no,
it
I never
was exciting. I mean, I
yeah. I
I love
couldn't wait
I
to
love
it to be over, you know, to sell it, but no, I never wanted to quit.
Oh, well, that's good to hear, because I mean,
Mhm.
I love being a coach. I love teaching. And there's nothing better than teaching and being on site too, right? Because when I go out to these properties with you, and I don't always go out with all my students to their properties. Like I said, you're very fortunate. You get the best of me
I
because
do.
I am very much close to you. But I have gone out to other students, and as far as Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh, and just being there, it gives me a different feel. And because of my experience, I'm able to make sure that you're on the right track. Even though I can see through video, um, I wanted to make sure that you were on track. And because you were one of the first graduates, I had to make sure all you guys were on track. You know, I would be a failure if I didn't follow your success very well. So definitely. So if you could go back and take a look at your journey now, do you think you would have done anything differently in terms of picking a coach and picking a location and continuing in coaching now?
No, I mean, I'm happy with every decision that was made. Like I have literally like no regrets at all. I knew I was in good hands. It felt good. Was profitable. It was just it was what it needed to be. And I
Oh,
mean, and listen, and it wasn't even perfect because there were like little hiccups. And I think I welcomed those hiccups because I had somebody that would have kind of like helped, I had you to help me kind of get out of it, or, telling me what I should do and what I shouldn't do. So, I wanted the hiccups. You want the hiccups while you got somebody, you know.
we do have a lot of hiccups. We had some hiccups,
Mhm.
but we got, and I think for us, it was just about getting through it. For every hiccup, the risk, if there's no risk, there's no reward. So
Yeah.
I know that for every step of the way, when we sat down and we strategized, it's about mitigating that risk. It's about understanding how can we minimize and what impact will this have on us. And we didn't have any financial risk. It was more so the process
Yeah.
of being able to get through it. And that certificate of occupancy process in that town was very nerve wracking. And for those that may not know what a certificate of occupancy is, it's the transfer of ownership of the residential setting of you, the investor, to the ultimate buyer. And many times, other real estate agents leave this process to the buyer. But here's the beautiful thing about my friend Arlene here. So she was the investor and the realtor. She listed her property too. Didn't I tell you she was a badass? She listed her own property. Now I encourage her to do that because she was a newer agent, and I wanted her to experience what it's like to be a listing agent versus a buyer's agent. And now that she's in coaching with me on the residential side, she totally gets it. But back then, she had been a buyer's agent. She had never been the one to put a yard sign on a property. So she went from being a buyer's agent, pharmacist, to now being an investor, to now being her own listing agent and managing that entire process, giving her a full circle of experience on what she needed to do as she continues to grow her portfolio from being an investor. Because now she knows when you're the investor and now when you're the realtor, you represent both sides of it. And the beautiful thing is that she bought her property the right way. She came prepared. So if you're thinking about getting into the fixing and flipping business, make sure that you're buying your property under your limited liability corporation. We don't buy under our own names. No ma'am, no handler. Okay, so we don't do that. What we do is we buy under our LLCs. And of course, being in the community and being in the program, you are aligned to my lenders. Of course, Arlene had access to my lenders, and she was able to do all things by seamlessly going through the program. In fact, one of my lenders today reached out to me and said, "When does your class start?" I said, September. So class is starting in September for group coaching. Unfortunately, it will not be like the program that Arlene joined, but it will be equally phenomenal because you know that they're getting 3 coaches. It is myself, another 2 coaches, and you are in the right place, in the right room at the right time. Arlene, am I not telling you the truth, right?
Yeah, not but the truth.
They are going to get the best of us because we are offering, and you know, I don't miss a class. I love class, right? Have I missed a class?
You didn't. I think, and I said this to her during the class. I said, I'm used to like some people, things coming up and somebody, emailing me and say, hey, I'm at the cancel class or reschedule it. Never missed a class. Not ever, ever.
No.
Never.
Because I love school and you're paying me very good money so that you can learn. And I want to show up when I'm supposed to show up. And as a teacher and as an educator, I want to be here. And I'm telling you, you will get those 90 minutes. Our coaching sessions went beyond 90 minutes. Okay. We packed it in. We made sure that you had your assignment, you understood what you were doing, and you returned. And that is what's happening in September. So I did let her know that students are coming in. If they're signing up for the fixing and flipping, by all means, you got to get that money right. So that was it, making sure that they're, and here, check this out. This lender, this is exciting news. Credit score as low as 585.
Oh, wow. Everybody can be an investor.
There it is. There it is. And so with that low entry point, having a low credit score like that and still be able to fix and flip, it's all asset-based lending. And I'm telling you, it's based on the asset. You're guaranteeing it. It's phenomenal. So school is open. I'll drop a link to let you know where you can pre-register or get more information about the school. So I wanted to continue with you looking ahead. So I know that we have this project that you're working on, the 2-family house. Is that something that you think you want to consider getting into more duplex type of homes in that area, especially since it's such a big rental community?
Absolutely. I think that after I finished that fix and flip, I already had kind of said to myself, I would like my next one, I would love it to be a buy and hold. So it just seems like
you're on the right track because this is a buy and hold.
Right.
This is a buy and hold, and this is going to be a cash cow. I'm telling you, that whole community is a cash cow. It's all about, I've never been in a community that offered multi-unit, because the one we were across the street from was 3 families, and he said he's about to expand it to a 4 family. So we got the skinny on the whole neighborhood.
Oh yeah. You sit there long enough, they tell you everything you need to know.
They did. We found
It
out
really
which
did.
one was vacant, who
Hmm.
died. They
Hmm.
were
You
giving
know
you
what?
leads when you were sitting there.
Right. Yeah.
They gave you leads. So I think that's going to be really phenomenal for you. Again, so do you see your children in the future learning the family business?
I do. I know, my oldest actually took an interest in it while he was running out and looking at houses with me. Like, he was like, "Oh, I would love to do this." So, yeah, yeah.
Well, get him his license as soon as he turns 18, right?
Okay, yeah, because yeah, you also all you got to do is be 18.
18. So
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting because, my children, like you said, the freedom that it gives me, they're getting older where I don't have to have a sitter always. They are a part of my real estate investing. My son has been investing since he was 3. He follows me around, gives me addresses. He's very funny. And now at 14, he does open houses with me too. So I never do an open house by myself. And the last several open houses I had, he came with me. And now my daughter, she's rapidly learning the business as well. And I don't publicly tell everyone, but my husband is my project manager. So I don't have to worry about a project manager anymore because he's an investor. And so he does project management for me and he manages my project. So I'm able to coach and give so much of myself to everyone. He was the first one that really said to me, I think that you found your perfect spot by being a coach. And you should continue to coach and I'll continue to manage the project. So he's my project manager. It's really
Keeping it
exciting.
in the family. That's beautiful.
It's a family affair. So I
Mhm.
believe that, my children will be, legally investors at 18. No, no question about it. So what's next for you beyond property investment? Do you see yourself diversifying into what I have now started to do? I haven't shared it with everyone, but what I'm currently doing, but I'm going into development and I'm also and we buy 40 units and better. So we have bought several multi-unit properties. So what's next for you besides, I know you're doing the two family and two family and two family. Do you see
Mhm.
yourself expanding your portfolio to beyond that?
Absolutely. Like, I mean, real estate is exciting. Just everything about it. Every time you tell me about all these different strategies and these, different ways to invest, it's exciting. And I'm like, yeah, I want to do that too. I want to do that. I want to do what else they got. I want to do that too. But yeah, so for right now, definitely focusing on the buy and hold one. But I would love to expand into something like that. Those
We even tried, you and I
40
have even gone to
properties.
share sales, remember?
What was that?
We went to share sales.
Oh yeah, we sat into a share sale and everything. Yes,
So
yes.
we're looking at all options. We're
Mhm.
actually still continuing to go out there and just kind of learn more about what's going on in the world of investing. Investing is never ending. Investing can be whatever you make it. And I share that with people that when you get into this business, it is for lifelong learning. Even where I'm at now after 17 years, I continue to grow and expand. And I will say that fixing and flipping is still one of my favorite strategies. I like wholesaling. I like BRRR. I like any of those strategies. But for me, I get a real thrill when I look at a property like we looked at last week, the two family house,
Mhm.
and was able to sit up there and break down a concept to you and say, I think we can really make something out of this, Arlene. I mean, I look at this differently, and it's just a matter of putting it together and bringing it to life. And it's going to make you a rock star in that community because this is a property that they want to see um, brought back to life. And that's what you're going to be doing by bringing this property back to life. And the fact that you have so many more opportunities out there is incredible.
For sure.
Is
Yeah.
very incredible. I'm
Mhm.
excited to see where this leads you. I'm excited to see, how soon you fire your boss and say, I'm done with this. I
Mhm.
fired mine in 2022, almost entering 23. And I was, for the first 6 months, I was just going around singing things like I Did It My Way by Frank Sinatra.
Mhm.
I'm Every Woman. I felt so powerful and so empowered. And, until I realized, I don't have a paycheck, but it's okay. I was I was happy. I mean, my freedom was there for the first time. I found myself not running to uh, from one activity to the next, just shuffling my children and doing these things. So it gave me what I needed. And now entering my third year of freedom, we've launched a school and we've launched this opportunity to be able to give professional women such as you, Arlene, who
Mhm.
continue to blossom and grow throughout the program. You're one of the founding members, along with the other ladies, who were able to get into the program at the ground floor. Going into year two, we're offering the group coaching to students coming in 10 weeks. And you can testify that 10 weeks is plenty of time.
It is. It's more than enough time.
It's more than enough time.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a licensed agent and you're working with someone that can open those doors and get you into the program, get you into the homes, you will be able to complete your assignments because we have this ability to align ourselves with the right people. So if you happen to be in a state where neither Arlene or myself are licensed, we have partners that will be able to work with you and are happy to get you in there. And of course, the process has slightly changed in the world of real estate. When you are an investor buyer, you'll have to sign an agreement with that agent so that she either a one-time agreement or you become her go-to or his go-to, however way you choose to work with that individual. You sign that agreement and they'll show you as many properties as you need to, as long as you are a serious buyer. Because I strongly suggest before you go into the program to have your pre-approval, right? You want to be fully ready to strike. You need a pre-approval so that you can shop with money in your hand. And that's kind of how Arlene and I did it. We had our pre-approval and we were ready to just basically make offers and be able to take a look at it. While you are in the program, you're learning what
Mhm.
the offer, how to present the offer, what the after repair value is, R, right? That's everything. The R of the R of the R. You have to know what the after repair value is, especially if you are fixing, because that's the portion that's going to be financed, and then flipping once you sell it. So it's a purchase plus the rehab is how you get your money. It's based on asset based lending. I have several of my lenders who are on standby, just ready to work with anyone who joins the fixing and flipping program. We also have the DSCR program, which is the debt service credit program. That program is also very, very good. It's all based on rentals. And I know, Arlene, you're going to probably benefit from that once you do your buying and holding, because DSCR is an incredible opportunity. It's all based on what the rents are of the property. So we'll talk more about that. But that is an opportunity for people to really understand that when you're working with an experienced person, a person that really knows how to get you in and out of a transaction, your expectations are set much higher. If you know what the days on the market is going to be from the time you fix a property and flip it, then you already set your expectations. You heard Arlene say she's already looking at her other properties based on what she did. She knows she wanted to do a fix and flip, and now she knows she wants to do a buy and hold. And as a licensed agent, it gives her the opportunity to be able to go out and look at as many properties as she can. And because she is a listing agent, not just a buyer's agent, she has the opportunity to work with owners of properties who are selling their property. And if it makes sense for her to list it, she lists it. If it makes sense for her to fix it and flip it, she can do that. If it makes sense for her to fix it and hold it, she does it. And even enter a joint venture with me. So when you enter into a joint venture, we are about to have a blast. I have already shared with Arlene, when we go back out to the property I just shared with her, you guys, that we are going to wear our zoot suits and we're going to be prepared and we're going to be really engrossed in it. We're bringing out our vendors, we're bringing out everything we need to do. We're putting our punch list together to make that informed decision on what the next steps are. And that is what I find ultra exciting about not just buying and holding, but going through all the different steps, because this is a different city than what we started out at. And again, we didn't know where we would end up, right? This is not our
Mhm.
initial city.
No, no, this is all way over there, but we go there too.
We go there. We go so far. But this is a cash cow neighborhood because we found out that there's more opportunities in this community when you and I just met this week to talk about, oh my goodness, look at all this stuff over here, Arlene.
Mhm.
So there's more. By the time y'all talk to this one, she's not going to be for pharmacy no more. I'm telling you,
Mhm.
she's
Mm-mm.
I don't see her doing this pharmacy thing much longer. I definitely see you, shifting out, jumping out the window, such as I did to find out if I had a parachute. That's how I did it.
Hmm.
Jump out that window, see if you have a parachute, and see what you can make of yourself. In these times in 2025, 2026, we only have a short period of time left in this year to figure out what our next moves are going to be. We have to be very, very deliberate in how we do things in 2025 into 2026. We are not living in times where we are indecisive. We are decision makers. That's why I share that women are really equipped to do this kind of work. If you can be a mother and a pharmacist and do some rehabbing and the audacity to be licensed in two different states, then this this woman right here is a badass. There's no question in my mind that she is, her mindset is right. And that's what I talk to many people coming into the program. Your mindset is everything. If you are planning to get into an investment, know that there's risk involved. Okay, there's risk. There's no question that we're not going to have. We mitigate the risk. We can't avoid risk, but we can mitigate it. And also, we can't avoid, as Arlene said, any mistakes that comes along the way. Those mistakes were welcome, and it wasn't mistakes that we made. Some of those hiccups that came along the way were very challenging for us to navigate. But not one time did she waver. Not one time did she say, I'm going to quit. Not one time did she say, I'm done with this. I wasted my money working with this woman.
No, no.
No, because we were on the right track, doing the right things. And here we are, 2025, still going.
Still rocking and rolling, yes.
Still rocking and rolling. So Arlene is definitely one of the founding members of She Invests Realty. We're going to be posting this link out there. She is available if anyone is on the fence and anyone is not sure which way this is going to go, or I don't know if I could afford it. What do you say to them, Arlene?
Invest, do it, jump with no parachute, jump.
You can't
Do
afford not to.
You can't
You can't
afford not
afford
to.
not
Yeah.
to. That's
Yeah.
just it. You can't afford not to invest in yourself. You have to bet on yourself. I had to bet on myself. Um, and one of the reasons why I started She Invests Realty is because there were not anyone that looked like me when I started. Now, there's plenty of me's out there now, and they have been in the business even longer, but it wasn't as obvious. We weren't as visible to one another as we are now. And there's there's other coaches who are in this pro. Tiffany is a bad coach. I mean, she is an engineer by trade and profession. She is a developer and she builds and renovates homes. So if I show her that house, this is what she would call sexy. She would call it, this is sexy. She calls
Yeah.
that sexy. Oh, this is
Mhm.
sexy. I could get into this. She
Mhm.
does historical home renovations in North Carolina. And then you have Rosenta, who is another badass in Alabama, who is into fixing, not fixing and flipping. She's into investing, buying, and holding. And she has a really nice portfolio and she trains and coaches not only in my program, but she's also a Legacy League individual as well. So we are coaches in real estate investing, and we are coaches in residential real estate too, other women and men. And I wanted to be able to teach women because for so many years I sat in rooms where I was not the only woman of color, but the only woman. And I sat in the front because I wanted to be visibly seen, and I did not want to just be viewed, but I wanted to be heard. And so I opened my mouth loud and proud. I was there to learn, and I was received well. But I looked around the room and there was not another woman besides my sister, who at the time was my investment partner. So these platforms currently exist now, and I encourage people to take advantage of this. You heard for yourself tonight from a real live professional woman who joined the program, who didn't know me from a can of paint, other than we met at a real estate investing event. It was a residential real estate event we met at. And she heard the announcement. She took the leap. She took the faith because she knew exactly what she wanted. And That's all she wrote. I feel like Arlene is not just an investing partner. She's become a really good friend where we can actually laugh and joke and talk about the stuff that we do. And when she goes on vacation, I cover for her now. I do. I cover her territory just in case.
Mhm.
And I'm getting ready to go on vacation and she'll cover for me
And
as well.
hello.
She'll cover. She'll be fine. She'll take all, she'll take all my difficult transactions for me while I'm away because I trust her and she's trust me. And real estate is about know, like, and trust. Once you have that know, like, and trust factor, then you're in business. There's no way you can fail in this. No way you can fail. This is not guaranteed, but it's a foolproof way of doing. Without the coach, you stand to lose. With the coach, you stand to win. Any
Absolutely.
parting words you have for our friends tonight on what you want to share with them on your journey and working with Dr. Gladys, who you lovingly know as Gladys?
If you're on a fence, just take the leap. Take the leap. Like what Gladys was saying, you got to invest in yourself. No one that, you don't believe in yourself, who else is going to do it? Um, Gladys is amazing. She literally, I mean, walk you, when I say the blueprint, literally the blueprint from start to finish, like even down to like just like you said, the end buyer, knowing who your end buyer is, because that's so important, because you don't think about that, but she may remind you of like just the little things that are important things that you really do have to consider when you go into a property. So if you're on the fence, just do it. If you have questions, certainly you can, like she said, you can reach out to me. I will answer any question. I was a student. I've been through it, and definitely reach out to me.
I appreciate that,
Mhm.
Arlene. I really do. Because, being a student and being in a hot seat, it's never easy. It's never easy doing what we do. If it was simple, anybody can do it. But as women, I
Mhm.
know we're more than qualified to do what we do because, you know, we bring life to this world. We do everything. And I know that these years, I've got quite a few bruises on me. I made some really tough choices. But looking back to my journey from where I started, I didn't think I was going to be a coach. I didn't think I was going to be. I thought I would just continue to do the work, but I couldn't keep all this information to myself. I couldn't see having so much knowledge and so much training over the years and not be
Mhm.
able to share this information with others. So it's been such a pleasure having you as my guest, Arlene. I know that you have so much more to offer the world, and I can't wait to see what you do with this property. I'm so excited.
I'm
Thank
excited.
you so much for being my guest. I want to thank those that have joined us tonight. If you have any questions, I will definitely be answering them offline, online. But clearly, my guest today was phenomenal. And Arlene, I hope God continues to multiply incredibly in your life. Thank you so much for being my guest. Good
Of
night.
course. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.